What's up, y'all? It's your girl Princess Damii, and today is Vlogmas day 17. So currently in my car in my robe because I was trying to get my package today. My Christmas tree was supposed to get delivered today. It says it delivered, but I can't find it nowhere in this package room. So I'm about to go in there and look again. But before I do, I did want to make sure that I recorded for today. So I wanted to talk today about what things that I am doing currently in my life to keep my peace. Because I feel like that's very important, and it's very hard to do that, especially around, I feel like, the holiday times a lot of times, because you're around so many different people, so many different personalities, and then you go to the store, so many people, you're getting overstimulated, and then on top of that, you're spending money, maybe even money that you might not have at the time, because you want to make people happy for Christmas. First on the list of things I stopped doing for my peace is explaining myself to, and I wrote it down on my phone, so y'all gonna see me looking at my phone, but explaining myself to people who already decided how they feel. So when someone already doesn't like you, or when someone wants to, like I say, feel a certain way about you, they're just always going to feel that no matter what. Sometimes it don't even matter what you say, what you do, how nice you are to them. They're still going to treat you as if you didn't say those things at all. So it's like, you might as well just save your breath and not say anything at all. You can't please everybody in the world. Everybody's not gonna like you, so you can't try to sit here and over explain and keep explaining. That's one thing that I had to break the habit of doing, is just explaining myself to people who, one, don't even deserve an explanation, but two, people who already decided that this is how they want to feel. Like, if you know in your heart that you're a giving person, but you have somebody calling you selfish because you didn't give them something one time, or like your family asks you for money all the time and you always give it to them, but now one time you're like, nah, I gotta save my money, and they decide you're a fucked up person for that, or you're a messed up person for that. No, like, let that be cool. You don't have to go back and be like, well, you remember this time I gave you money, and that time and that time. No. Fuck all that. Like, you know what you did. You know who you are. You know the things that you have done for others, and you don't have to tell them, because they know too. They're trying to gaslight. They don't want you to know that they know. They want you to feel like you're not doing enough so that you'll do more, if that makes sense. But anyways, on to the next. Another thing on my list is forcing friendships that felt one-sided. So if you're the friend that is always calling people, or always calling your friends, always being the one to initiate the hangouts, always being the one to initiate conversation, or when you're around them and you try to have conversation, it kind of seems like they're not really interested unless they're talking about themselves. Yeah, let that one go, because that's what you call a one-sided friendship. That's not going to do anything for you. That's not going to help you grow as a person, and in your friendship, that's not going to help your friendship grow and your bond get stronger. Like, it's just not, there's no benefits to that. Anyways, moving on. Oversharing my plans before they happen. I feel like this is very important, because first of all, yes, you want to manifest everything. I feel like it's very important to keep a lot of things to yourself. Like, keep your goals to yourself. Like, I was sitting here contemplating whether or not I wanted to do a video on my goals list, like what my goals are for 2026 or what my goals are for the next few months or something. But then I was like, nah, not really. I don't really want to do that, because not that anybody can stop what God has for you, but I don't even want to give them ammo or the opportunity, and I don't want anybody like knowing what I'm up to, you know? Like, I just feel like it's better to grow in silence rather than show everybody what you have going on. Like, I feel like one of the number one things that I didn't talk about, I just did it, is this whole Vlogmas series. Like, no one really knew that I was gonna do Vlogmas. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't even tell myself. I didn't even know I was gonna do it. I just knew I wanted to be consistent on YouTube, and I want to show up for myself. So that's what I'm doing, and that's why I'm sitting here in this car right now at 10:09 p.m. when I have to work at 7 a.m. and I'm doing this video for y'all. But anyways, it's not oversharing your plans. I never get into specifics, because you just never know people's true intentions, you know what I'm saying? So just to cut all that out. And then it's like, you know, people will be jealous and try to stop you from doing those things, and no, they can't stop you ultimately, but they may create obstacles that could have been avoided in the first place, you know? Okay, this is gonna be the final and last one. I wrote some more on here, but I just don't feel like making this video longer than what it is already. But comparing my timeline to other people's timeline, I feel like I definitely still do this. I've stopped trying to do it, and every time I catch myself thinking about it, I put my mind somewhere else. But I always, like, especially like if you're on social media, like, it's easy to do this. Like, I'll scroll through and I'll see like different things that people got going on. You know, some of my people that I went to school with are now, you know, influencers and getting PR packages, things that I want for myself and I don't have yet. I don't like when I start getting into that black hole where I'm like, dang, I should have did this, I should have did that, I should have did my life like this, I should have started this sooner. Like, that's just a black hole. It's just never ending. I could just go on and on and on about how I could have changed this, how I could have changed that. But at the end of the day, I think things happen when they are meant to happen, and it's not just always like what you want. Like and I used to tell myself too, like, okay, maybe you really don't want this. Like, if you're not being consistent with this, maybe that's not something that you want. But I don't feel like it wasn't that I didn't want it. I feel like it was more so I just wasn't ready to receive what I would get from it, because I wouldn't use it the right way, if that makes sense. I feel like I had to get rid of certain people that were in my life, because if it would have happened at that time, I would have shared it with these people who don't even deserve it, you know? And I would have shared that part of my life. And, you know, once you go online, once you become an influencer, a lot of your business is online. So I feel like I had to go through certain friendships and certain stages in my life in order to know how to protect myself. Because when you go through, like, well, not that I'm an influencer or was, but I can just imagine that when people are younger, like when you're 16, 17, 18, and you're an influencer, you're going through life. You're going through all these different friendships, all these different changes, and then you're an influencer on top of that. It's like people will use that to, like, get clout off of you by, like, just being ugly and maybe saying things that aren't true, and then you don't know how to stand your ground and stand in who you are. You start to believe it, or you start to, like, feed into it, and that just, it can ruin your image, you know? Whereas now, I'm 26, I feel like I've matured in that way, and I feel like I know how to, like mitigate all of that, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm very just mature when it comes to handling certain situations. And I feel like now that I'm older, I don't feel the need to explain myself like I mentioned earlier, and I don't feel the need to entertain negative behavior. So yeah, but anyways, that was my last and final thoughts. I'm gonna let you guys go and get to your sleep. I'm gonna go ahead and edit this video and it will be uploaded right away. I hope I'm not getting sick. I feel like I sound sick, but whatever. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what y'all want to see next. If I do get my Christmas tree tonight, if I go in here and find it and I end up setting it up tonight, that will be recorded. If I don't set it up tonight and I set it up tomorrow, that will be recorded as well, but it just will be tomorrow and not tonight. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe. Send me any questions that you guys have, any suggestions for any videos, especially having to do with Vlogmas, because I need some ideas, y'all. But anyways, yeah, that's it. All right, bye guys, love y'all.